What's up, everybody? Hello. I'm gonna give everybody just a second to jump in. Going live tonight on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, talking all about reverse dieting. Yes, super excited to join you guys. My name is Anita Nybert. I'm a registered dietitian with a passion for health and wellness. And this is such an important topic that I talk actually, sorry, I've got like a dry throat, a ton about in my Lean monthly membership, because reverse dieting, excuse me, is applicable for people that have hit their goal weight, okay? So when you're where you want to be, I say it's a goal feeling. It's not a number on the scale. It's a feeling of where you feel your best. You have hit a plateau. You're not losing. You're kind of grinding it out. You're doing all the things, excuse me, and not seeing results. Calories are probably already super low. Or you just need to take a diet break, okay? Here's the biggest thing that I want you guys to realize from this talk. Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can get this tickle out of my throat. You cannot live in a caloric deficit forever, okay? And that's probably one of the biggest mistakes that I see people making with regards to long-term weight loss, is that number one, your first mistake is that you start your calories way too low. You use MyFitnessPal to calculate your macros. You underestimate your nutritional requirements. You underestimate your calories, which causes you to, yes, lose weight very rapidly in the beginning. And you like that. I know we all love a quick fix. We all like rapid results. But it causes you to hit plateaus much quicker. Or you just are grinding it out in this deficit. You never give yourself, your metabolism, a break. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight, the power and importance of reverse dieting. Okay, so I've grabbed kind of all your questions that you posted on my post. I'll answer questions hopefully as we go along. But again, who needs to be reverse dieting? You've hit your goal, okay? You're where you want to be. You've hit a plateau, or you just need a break, okay? So here's how our metabolism works. As we, go through dieting, as we, hold on. It's like a zoo down here, in my house. Everyone's doing everything. But as we limit our caloric intake, our body eventually adapts, okay? So whenever you start a diet, most likely before you start a diet, maybe you're eating like an asshole, okay? You're probably eating, 2,000, 3,000 calories a day. So of course, when you cut your calories to even 1,800, 1,600, 1,500, you're going to see weight loss, okay? Your metabolism started out at 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 calories. So that initial cut creates a weight loss. Now, over time, your metabolism adapts, okay? So your metabolism is no longer going to be 2,000, 2,500. It's going to adapt down to closer to what you're currently eating, all right? And this was really demonstrated super powerfully when we looked at the Biggest Loser contestants, okay? It's kind of a sad fact that, that program, the majority of the contestants would end up gaining the weight back. And what happened, and it wasn't their fault. Here's the deal, okay? It wasn't their fault. It was the lack of reverse dieting and probably a little bit of the over exercising, over caloric restriction that they created. But what would happen is when the show was over, they would be, they worked out for hours a day. They burn thousands of calories a day through caloric, expenditure. And then they ate very little. So their metabolic burn was really high. But once they got back into kind of daily life, their metabolism was 1,200. It was 1,300 calories. So when they ate 1,400 calories, they would gain weight. When they ate 1,500 calories, they would gain weight. And I have someone's comment in my post said, after Optiva, I don't know how you say it, okay? This is exactly what she said. I'm struggling to keep the weight off. If I eat more than 1,300 calories, I gain weight and I'm also starving, okay? So here's the deal. When you guys do these uber low calorie diets, yes, you're gonna lose 20 or 30 pounds in a month, it's inevitable. But unless you take the time to build back up your metabolism, you're gonna gain it back. And again, you're not gonna gain it back because you eat like an asshole. You're gonna gain it back. In her case, if she eats over 1,300 calories, she gains it back. 1,300 calories, that's like my lunch and snack, that's not much food. So in her situation, reverse dieting would be amazing, okay? And I'm gonna teach you how to reverse diet, because what she's gonna have to do is slowly get her metabolism back up to something sustainable, okay? I think sustainable caloric intake is more around 1,800, 1,900. And I'm going to show you, multiple examples of my clients that have been able to reverse diet. Because here's the deal. I've had a couple of people reach out to me and say, Amanda, I reverse dieted and I gained 10 pounds. Well, you didn't reverse diet correctly, okay? You did it wrong. Because the goal of reverse dieting is that you build your caloric intake while maintaining. Now, I'm not saying reverse dieting is easy, okay? It's tricky. You have to be in it for the long haul, but I'm going to tell you how to do it. So, those are scenarios in which, again, we blame the person, and you may blame yourself. Oh my gosh, I'm just going to gain all this weight back. When in reality, you're still basically under eating. You're only getting 1,500 calories and you're gaining it back. All right. So it is just how our metabolism adapts to what we're eating, and why living in a caloric deficit is not beneficial, okay? You will eventually stall out, whether it be your motivation or your effort, or it be your results, okay? So when we talk about the 3 people that would be good candidates for reverse dieting, again, once you've hit your goal weight, once you've hit a plateau, or once you need a diet break. So someone said, a question was, if I haven't hit my goal weight and I'm still losing, would I reverse diet? No, okay? You only implement reverse dieting when you stop seeing results, or if you need to take a break, okay? If living in that grind of a caloric deficit is too much. For example, in January, in my monthly membership, I encourage my clients to sit down. So we sit down and we're actually going to do it next month. So if you're a past Lean member, jump in November. But next month, we're going to look at 2022 and we're going to think back to this past year, and we're going to say, you know what? It's really easy for me to be in a caloric deficit January, February, March. Okay. But I really struggled to stay focused, to stay on track, to eat dialed in, through spring and summer. So you know what? I'm going to plan a diet break. I'm going to plan to reverse diet through the summer. Okay. And then in fall, we do a big kind of 10-day reset in the Lean monthly membership to get people refocused after the summertime. So then you go back into a deficit in the fall. All right. So maybe you pick, August, September, October to go back in a deficit. Okay. Now we chip away at another, weight loss goal. And then for the holidays, we take another diet break. Okay. Trying to grind out, calorie counting and tracking and macro management and only drinking, once or twice a week is hard in November and December. So why not recognize that that's a period where you're going to not focus on weight loss. You're going to focus on maintenance, okay? Here's the key, guys. This is what y'all are missing. You're so wrapped up in losing weight that you forget the importance of maintenance, okay? Again, something else that I teach in my lean program is you can never forget how far you've come. The moment that you don't see how far you've come and you only think about where you need to go is the moment you give up, okay? Period. Or the moment you begin to fail. And I see it all the time. You know, people reach out to me on a daily basis. Amanda, I did the lean program a year ago. I lost 30 pounds. You know, the pandemic hit. I gained it all back, you know. Or Amanda, I did your program. I lost 30 pounds. I went it out on my own. I still had 20 more to lose. I hit a plateau. I couldn't lose anymore and I ended up gaining it all back. Don't do that, okay? Never let yourself go back. All right. And this is a strategy that I taught in my hospital setting. You know, I told my clients, and we're going to talk about red light, green light numbers. Okay. I hate the scale, but for maintenance, the scale can be your friend. All right. And I tell my clients to create a red light number. All right. So anytime you lose weight, you know, let's say you lose 10 pounds and let's say you get to 180. Okay. So you went from 190 to 180. When you find yourself, okay, kind of maintaining at 180, your red light number is 183. Okay, it is your number one goal to never let yourself go back over 183. Okay, because the minute gaining 1, 2, 3 pounds, that's fluid, that's poop, that's volume, that's not fat. All right, but once you start seeing the scale go up 4, 5, 6 pounds, that's you're gaining the weight back. So if you never, and this is my goal, okay? This is how I maintain. My red light number is 143. The minute I see 143, I tighten in the reins. I don't freak out. I don't, do a 7-day fast. I don't over exercise. I don't, do all low carb days. I don't starve myself. I just tighten it up. That's what I do. I tighten it up. I tighten up my lifestyle and I get myself back to 140. And so that's how I never let myself. That's how I keep that maintenance, okay? So every time you make progress moving forward, I want you guys to remember that, all right? Because every single person that reaches out to me and said, I lost 30 pounds, I wanted to lose 20 more, but I ended up gaining it all back. I'm like, what would it feel like to just be that 30 pounds down? And again, we get so wrapped up in our next step where we want to go that we forget how far we've come. And then we get back to square one and we just are like, man, I wish I had just focused on maintaining that 30 pounds versus being obsessed over losing more. And here's the thing, women, okay? Trust me. You don't think I think about, I wonder what it'd be like to be 135. And if I got to 135, I'd probably be like, man, wonder what 130 would be like. Like, we're never happy, okay? You can never be too skinny type of thing. I mean, we always want more. There's never an end kind of in sight for all women, So again, always focus on maintenance for sure. Okay. So setting up diet breaks is really powerful. So, whether you are at your goal weight or not, you may implement reverse dieting. So to answer that question, if you haven't hit your goal weight, you're still seeing progress, and you feel good, no, do not implement reverse dieting. But if you're not at your goal weight and you've hit a plateau, yes, okay, take a break, reverse diet, and then pick up in a couple of months, all right? So let's talk about what reverse dieting looks like. So basically what we want to do is we want to slowly add back calories, okay? So we want to slowly add back calories. Again, you want to create a green light number, and I have actually a guide. I don't think it's in my shop for sale, but maybe I'm going to throw it in there because I use it in my monthly membership for content and stuff like that. But so basically I have a guide and it's got a chart in it. Okay. And you start with your green light number. What is the number on the scale? Cause there is a lot of weighing involved. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of the scale, but as long as you realize you're using the scale for maintenance, not for weight loss. Reverse dieting is about maintenance, not weight loss. So creating that green light number and then creating your red light number, which is 3 above. So if you lost all your weight at 1,200 calories, you would begin by adding 1,300 calories, all right? And you'd eat 1,300 calories, your splits are still the same, protein optimization, all of that stuff still matters, okay? We're just adding 100 calories. And see what your weight does. I will say, typically, the first 100 to 300 calories is insignificant, okay? I can't tell you, I would say 50% of people actually add 100 or 200 calories and lose more weight. All right, I actually have an example in my email right now where they added 200 calories and they kept losing. You want to know why? Because they probably optimized their protein even more. I'm here to tell you, you guys that are underestimating your calories, it's not a caloric issue. It is a protein issue. I have a girl in my email right now. She set up her macros based on my recommendations. She was like 5'11". She's really tall. And I think she was about 230 pounds. Like, 230, 5'11", like you probably look damn good, okay? But her calories are set up at 2,200 and she was like, this does not feel right. And I was like, boo, that is right. You're 5'11", okay? That's exactly how many calories you need. And guess what? That's your deficit, all right? So, and I told her, I was like, listen, you don't have to hit your calories. You don't have to eat 2,200 calories if you aren't that, if you don't need that many calories. But you have to hit that protein goal, all right? Your protein needs are based on that 2,200 calories. So again, when I say it all the time, when you underestimate your calories, you screw yourself on protein. So you're gonna add back 100 calories. Typically, you wanna see yourself maintain for 2 to 3 weeks, okay? So you add back 100 calories, make sure you maintain. Again, sometimes you can add back that first 100, 200 pretty quickly. So you might add back 100, you may lose 2 pounds, okay? So then go ahead and add another 100 7 days later, and you may, maintain, maybe gain a pound, maintain, add another 100. But once you start getting into, 400, 500, 600 calories, it takes a little bit longer, all right? So then you got to go up and down. So once you get to the point where you, add 100 calories, so let's say you started 1,300, you got up to 1,400, your body's tolerated that just well, 2 to 3 weeks, you maintain. Then you go to 1,500, okay? And let's say at 1,500, you add 1,500 and it takes you 4 days to get to your red light number, all right? So once you get to your red light number, you go back down 100 calories, okay? So that client, they hit their red light number at 1,500 calories. They're gonna go back down to 1,400 calories and they're gonna get back down to their green light number. All right. And that will usually take, 4 to 5 days. And then they're going to repeat the cycle. So once they get down, they maintain that green light number for a couple of days, then you're going to add that 100 calories back. So you're going to go back up to 1,500. Well, the first time it took you 4 days to get to your red light number. The second time it should take you 6 days to get to your red light number, 8 days to get to your red light number. Okay, your metabolism is adapting. So then day 8, you hit your red light number. Guess what? 1,500. You go back down to 1,400. All right, you get back down to your green light number. You level out there, okay? And then you go back up to 1,500. Now it takes you 14 days to get to your red light number. All right? And then again, you play this game till eventually, usually after 2 or 3 back and forths, you don't go back to that red light number. That's when your body has finally adapted to that extra 100 calories, okay? So I think it usually takes, somewhere between 2 to maybe 5 weeks to adapt as you add those kind of higher 100s, all right? So then once your body levels out at 1,500 calories and you're maintaining that green light number, you go to 1,600 calories, okay? So the example that I have in my email is from a gal, and she's actually been able to add back, she's at 500 calories, okay? So she started out at 1,200 calories, and she's up to 1,700 calories, okay? Maintaining at, I think her green light number is like 125, so she's maintaining, she's like, do I just keep adding? Like, when do I stop adding calories? And I say, yes, you absolutely keep adding, okay? Because I'm going to teach you, I'm going to show you, because this is for like you've hit your goal weight maintenance. I'm going to show you how to apply reverse dieting if you've hit a plateau. So if she can build up her metabolism to like 2,000 calories, I mean, hello, her ability to sustain her progress, you know, she's 125, whatever, how much she weighs, at 2,000 calories is going to be a hell of a lot easier than her ability to sustain her progress at 1,200 calories. You see what I'm saying? You know, again, it's like the girl asking about, you know, coming off of Optavia and, you know, only eating 1,300 calories. She can't sustain that. It's not sustainable, okay? Because anytime she eats 1,400 calories, she gains weight. So it's about building up your metabolism. So I say go as far as you can. Go as far as you can. Increase as much as you possibly can. Most people are going to level out about 500 calories. So for me, my deficit is right about 1,700 calories. If I go down to 1,700 calories, I'll typically lose weight, lean out. But I can't stay there. I mean, that is not sustainable for me. My maintenance calorie level is about 2,200. That's probably what I average on most days, okay? So let's talk about using it in a scenario of a plateau, okay? So I had a client that I worked with one-on-one at the beginning of the year, and she came to me and she said, you know, Amanda, I'm eating 1,200 calories. I walk 20,000 steps a day. I do Peloton, an hour Peloton workout every single day, and I can't lose any weight. I can't lose any weight. I've got 10 pounds I want to lose. I can't lose weight. And I said, okay, well, I'm happy to work with you one-on-one, but I will only work with you if you will reverse diet. Okay, so I will only work with you if you will focus on maintenance, and we can build your calories up in order to put you back in a deficit for weight loss. Because here's the deal. I will never set someone up at, 1,100 calories. No, 1,000 calories for weight loss. Hail to the frickin' no. I get pissed off when I see people at 1,200, okay? I'm constantly like, check your macros. They seem too low. If you're 5'2" and above, then you need more than 1,200 calories. Now, if you're 5 foot tall, I'm sorry, okay? 1,200 may be an appropriate deficit. So, I always tell my petite ladies, you don't have a weight problem, you have a height problem. We need to try to fix that. But so what we wanted to do, ultimately, she was under eating, over exercising. She had a massive cortisol issue. You guys know insulin and cortisol are the top fat storing hormones in the body. You're just beating your body down, okay? You're gonna be sick all the time. You're probably not sleeping well. All the grind, you're grinding it out for 10 pounds, which ain't gonna come because you're just abusing your body. So I told her, I said, my goal is to increase your calories by at least 400, okay? Because I think that with reverse dieting, in a plateau situation, it is ideal to increase your calories by at least 400 to 500 calories and then go back in a 400 calorie deficit in order to break the plateau. And I said, so my goal is to get you from 1,200 calories to 1,600 calories, okay? And I said that could take a month. It could take 6 months. It just depends on how, metabolically flexible you are, okay? And she said, okay. So basically, it did. It ended up taking a good 3 months to get her up to 1,600 calories. Okay, but here's what happened, all right? So we got her 1,600 calories, absolutely maintaining. We added 400 calories, no weight gain. She was in her red, green light number. And I said, okay, are we ready to go in a deficit? And she said, hail to the no. I don't think I can ever go back to eating 1,200 calories again. Like, I don't know how I did it. I must have been starving because she felt so good eating 1,600 calories, and maintaining. And I mean, sometimes I have conversations with people and I'm like, is this 5 to 10 pounds worth it? Like, is it really worth it? Is it going to make that big of a difference? in terms of living in this, extreme deficit to get there? Or is this your happy medium, where, hey, you get to have chips and salsa and margaritas and you don't have to count every single calorie, and, you're not a slave to the food you eat and how your lifestyle is. I mean, trust me, I could get to 130, okay? But you're not going to see me. Never. I'm not going to eat out. I'm not going to drink. I'm going to, be eating, bland chicken and broccoli. And that just ain't me, all right? It's just not worth it. So I said, okay, let's go to 1,800. So that was our next goal. So we took another probably 2 months to get her up to 1,800 so that we could put her in a 400, deficit and only take her to 1,400 calories, all right? So that's how reverse dieting works with regards to a plateau, okay? So, in my program, I always tell people, if you don't see optimal results after the 7 weeks, email me. It always shocks me when people, I'm like, email me. I have a form that you fill out, the plateau form. Let's one-on-one figure out what we need to tweak. And it always shocks me that people don't take advantage of that. Some people do, okay? Probably because most people see amazing results in the first 7 weeks. But as you roll through the monthly membership, we assess progress every 4 weeks. So if they stop seeing results, they email me, they fill out this form. Because a plateau is not always about calories. It could be your sleep, it could be your alcohol, it could be your stress, it could be your exercise, it could be your body composition. So I am not always, calories are sometimes the last thing that I adjust, okay, with regards to assessing a plateau. So that's basically, if I get someone that sends me a plateau form and they're doing all the things, they're sleeping well, their alcohol's managed, their workouts are good, but their calories are really low, then that's what I suggest. I'm like, okay, we need a reverse diet. We need to focus on maintenance. We need a reverse diet, build you back up 400 to 500 calories, and then put you back in a deficit, okay? So that's the second scenario. Number one, you've hit where you've got to go. Listen, if you guys do not invest, if you spend all your effort busting your ass for weight loss, and you do not make the effort in reverse dieting, you're wasting your time. It's called a yo-yo diet, okay? You're gonna gain it all back. So invest in reverse dieting at the end of your journey, okay? Because I always say losing the weight is the easy part. Keeping it off is the hard part, period, okay? That's what it comes down to. And I'm sure you guys can agree with that with regards to, maintenance is hard. And you wanna know why maintenance is so hard? Maintenance is hard because you have to work just as hard for maintenance as you did for weight loss. And that's frustrating. For a lot of people, they're like, man, I'm only drinking 1.5 days a week. We say 80-20. So in a 30-day month, to drink only 20% is 6 days. So it's about 1.5 days a week. How do you quantify 0.5 in drinking? Is that one glass? Is that what you do? So you're sacrificing, your social, you're sacrificing healthy eating, 80% of the time you're focused on healthy eating, 80% of the time you're getting your workouts in. And that's the same stuff you did to lose the weight. So it feels like you should get a little break during maintenance, and you don't get a break. I used to work in a hospital in a weight loss clinic. I worked with diabetics, and I worked with people with heart disease, and I worked with people that had 100, 200 pounds to lose. And, I sometimes people would ask me, have you ever had a weight problem? And, I would say no. I've never had a significant weight problem other than having my 2 children. However, I don't ask you to do anything that I'm not doing myself, okay? If you see anyone that you idolize, you're like, man, I wish I looked like her. I wish I had her energy. I wish I felt as good as she did. I wish my skin was as good as her, whatever. I would say 99% of the time, that person is doing the work behind the scenes. Maybe 95% of the time, there's always those just couple of people, that can get away with it. But, you have to live that lifestyle, that consistency. I was talking to Kimmy tonight with the Weekly Juicery, and she's launching an incredible program, 52 weeks of chasing good health. And the premise of this program is to teach you one small healthy habit a week. And, like, for example, 1 week maybe just seeing the sun first thing in the morning. 1 week maybe practicing gratitude. 1 week maybe doing something for others. And it's like those little things that really add up to make you the healthiest you, chasing good health. I'm so excited. It's going to be amazing. So maintenance, you got to reverse diet. Plateau, you got to reverse diet. Last one, you just need a break. Okay? You just need a break. You need a little grace, again, based on the time of the year. You may be a boater, you've got a boat on the lake. We live on, it's not a lake. It's a reservoir, but we have a boat at a lake. We never get to go because of summer ball. I bitch about that a lot. But I have a lot of clients that are, live on lakes and have boats, and they're on their boats and they're drinking and having fun and summer fun. Okay, well, the summertime is not a great time for you to be beating yourself up about a caloric deficit. So reverse diet. Those are things that you can think about. The holidays, December, November in the Lean Monthly membership is going to be all about reflection. We're going to look at what goals did we set in January? Have we met those goals? Do we continue to set the same goals every January? Why? What's going to be different next year? And then we're going to plan our diet breaks and everything for the next year. December is going to be maintenance. That's all we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on not being the stat that most Americans gain 3 to 6 pounds every holiday season. Yes, 3 to 6 pounds. That's the stat. So we are going to be working to not be the stat. So focusing on maintenance. Yeah. To then get ourselves ready to launch in January. What questions do you have about reverse dieting? Let me go through the ones that I had. Oh, this was a really good one. How do you get more calories? I think Lindsay asked this. Definitely, and this was an issue with my client that got up to 1,800 calories. And she just was like, I can't eat anymore. I feel like I'm just forcing myself to eat calories to do this reverse dieting. And here's the simplest answer, okay? If you struggle to get extra calories in as you're adding calories, fats are the easiest way to add calories, okay? For example, one avocado has 400 calories. So if you need an extra 200 calories, throw a half of an avocado in your protein shake. Throw it on your salad. Put it in your soup. Eat it with a hard-boiled egg. So healthy fats are the easiest way to add calories because 1 gram of fat has 9 calories, whereas 1 gram of carb and protein only have 4 calories. So butter, yes, I'm a dietitian. Eat butter, yes, okay? Butter's good for you, especially organic grass-fed butter. So good for you. Olive oil, add a little extra olive oil, another kind of superfood, avocados, nuts, peanut butter. We get so depressed over the pathetic serving size of 200 calories of peanut butter. Now, if you need to add calories back, you can use it in the form of peanut butter. So that's the best way to increase calories. How many calories do you increase? So I kind of mentioned that you start with 100 each time. So you increase 100 each time. And again, you want to maintain within that red light, green light. And I ideally would love for you to add, anywhere from 400 to 600 calories minimum. But add as many as your body allows you to. Yes, add as many as your body allows you to. Let's see here. How long can you stay in reverse dieting? Well, forever. You can, okay? So you're going to get to a point where, you eventually plateau out. Like you eventually will, I can't eat 3,000 calories a day and lose weight, okay? So usually, like I said, 2,300 is usually my max. Well, once you reach your max, that's where you want to stay. And then if you get to a point, again, I would say I take diet breaks. I go into deficits. I will go into a deficit in January to try to look my absolute best for spring break, even though I don't think we're going on spring break because baseball, but that's okay. But, that's very typical for me. January through March, I tend to dial it in, do the dry January. And then I kind of go laissez-faire in the summertime. And then I'll go back into a deficit for September. And that keeps me honest, it keeps me maintaining for sure. So I live at 2,200 calories, 2,300 calories. I don't really track much when I take a diet break. I think I am more metabolically sound than most because I've got good body composition and I have good habits. So, typically when I go on my diet break, I stop tracking. But to be very, specific about reverse dieting, I would encourage you to track for sure and really build that up. And then when I want to dial it in, I go back into 1,600. Okay. Let's see what questions you have. Okay, here. I'm just going to start kind of at the bottom. So if you already asked a question, ask it again. Can you discuss estrogen dominance? It's not really my thing. It's not my expertise. I've got a lot of other people that I could kind of refer you to. But, when we talk about hormone balance in women, you have to focus on the foundational work, okay? And I always tell people, and people don't like to hear this, but you ain't special, okay? You ain't special. You diabetic, you ain't special. You got heart disease, you ain't special. You got estrogen dominant, you ain't special, okay? At the end of the day, we all need foundational work, okay? What is foundational work? Good sleep, low to no alcohol, whole food nutrition, micronutrients, tons of veggies, low glycemic fruits, quality animal protein, stress management. We need to reduce our cortisol. All right. We need to improve our body composition and we need to open up our detox pathways through dry brushing, sauna, sweating, bowel movements. I'm a big one. That's a big one for me. You got to be pooping every day. So, I always tell people, stop focusing on the nitty gritty and focus on the foundational work first and foremost. And typically everything else falls into place. Now, I will say for estrogen dominance, carrot salad every single day. It is a must. It really helps to balance out that estrogen. So that's the big advice I would give you there. How many pounds should your red light and green light be apart? 3. All right, so 140 is my green light number. 143 is my red light number, okay? So, and that's the thing is like, it is very, I always, people freak out. They're like, oh my God, I gained 2 pounds last night. No, you didn't. You gained, 2 pounds of poop, 2 pounds of fluid. You didn't gain 2 pounds of fat. It's very normal for people to shift 2 to 3 pounds, okay? Very normal. I always say on vacation, if you go on vacation for 7 days and you gain 5 pounds, trust me, you didn't gain 5 pounds of fat. You gained 5 pounds of inflammation. So if you simply come back and dial it in, tighten the reins, okay? That's what the Back on Track is about. It's about tightening the reins. Vacation, there ain't no reins, okay? We tighten the reins, whole food nutrition, good sleep, cut the alcohol, get back in the gym, drink your water, prioritize protein, load up on vegetables. 7 days later, it's gone. It's gone, all right? So 3 is the magic number, 3 pounds. Whoops, estrogen dominance. Let's see here. Yes, total holistic approach. Can you discuss cortisol and insulin in regards to weight loss? Yes, cortisol and insulin are the top fat storing hormones in the body. When insulin is present, you are storing fat. When cortisol is present, you are storing fat. So your ultimate goal is to reduce your insulin response. Your ultimate goal is to manage your cortisol. Now, you guys know, if you follow me, I am wearing my CGM. You can't really see it. Oh yeah, mine's all covered. Which is a continuous glucose monitor. I've got 50 clients that are participating in this challenge. And what I've learned about this challenge is people think like the goal is no sugar response, no glucose response, no insulin response. Well, that's impossible, okay? It's pretty much impossible to have zero response. I mean, I guess it's possible, but it's just not the norm. Like, you're gonna have ebbs and flows in your blood sugar. It's just a matter of what those ebbs and flows look like. And then also you have to understand that some people are more insulin resistant. That's a real big buzzword right now. You may have been told, oh, you're insulin resistant. And what that means is that because you have abused carbohydrates and sugars for so long, that your body is, has a tolerance to insulin. It's like an alcoholic, all right? So, the first time you drink a beer, okay, maybe not a beer, but, let's say the first time you drink 2 beers, you're too, tipsy, all right? And then the next time, you drink 2 beers and you're not as tipsy. Now you can drink 3 beers, and then it's 4 beers. And then, it takes a case to get you drunk. All right. It's the same thing with insulin. The more you have that blood sugar response, the more your body becomes blunted to insulin. So then it needs more, and that's bad. Okay. How do you fix insulin resistance? It doesn't happen overnight. You simply have to adopt a whole food, approach to nutrition. Tons of veggies, quality protein. Protein's the biggest thing. If you take 2 to 3 bites of protein before any meal, your blood sugar response is so much better. This is what we're learning. Also, if you walk 10 to 15 minutes after a meal, your blood sugar response is so much better. So there's 2 tips right there. Cortisol is a little bit harder. Cortisol is related to stress, sleep, over exercising. So, sometimes it's meditation, taking a walk, being a little bit better about that. Let's see here. Recently gained a few pounds and I'm lifting heavier weights, having trouble determining if it's muscle. Get your body composition done. Yeah. I love a DEXA scan is probably the most accurate way to look at your body composition. They're in every town. You can just call the radiology center. Probably get one for about $50, or your doctor can order one. An in-body scale, a bod pod is another very accurate measure of body composition. All major universities will have those on campus, or even just an at-home version. I have a FitTrack scale that I love, and the FitTrack scale, it's not necessarily 100% accurate, but it's good at showing your trends. So as you're lifting heavier, if the scale is going up and your diet's in check and everything else is going well, you will be able to see, oh, you're gaining muscle, not fat. All right. Most of the time when people feel like they're bulking up, it's because they're lifting heavy and their nutrition is a little bit off, so something to consider. How long for a deficit? 3 months. I say you stay in a deficit for as long as you can tolerate a deficit, or as long as you're seeing results. So, I have people that have been in a deficit for 12 months, but they're still losing. They've got over 100 pounds to lose. So their body is just, chipping away. And as long as your body's responding and you tolerate the deficit, I guess the only scenario in which you would reverse diet if you're still losing weight is when you're just not tolerating the deficit. You're miserable. Maybe your energy's low. You don't feel good. It's too hard. Take a break. Don't give up. That's what people do. They just give up. Take a break is what you want to do. Why carrots? Carrots are just a really natural way to attract and pull estrogen. Google it. like a carrot salad and estrogen dominance. You'll see a lot of information on it. Can we watch this later? Yes, I'm going to post it on the replay. I'm a type 2 insulin dependent. It makes it so much harder to lose. Dab, you are right. You are absolutely right. And I worked with a lot of insulin dependent diabetics in my hospital setting, and this is exactly what I would tell them. It is nearly impossible to lose weight while you are injecting yourself with the #1 fat storing hormone in the body. Therefore, Deb, weight loss is not your goal. Your #1 goal is to modify your diet and get off insulin. Now, again, you said you're a type 2. So you're not a type 1 diabetic who has to have insulin. They're totally different. But as a type 2 insulin dependent diabetic, your #1 priority is to rectify your diet and get off the insulin. And I've helped hundreds of people come off insulin in my lean program, okay? So it's very possible. Type 2 diabetes is a disease of diet. Once you get off the insulin or even just reduce your dose is when the weight loss will occur. And I saw that so much in my clinic, just defeated insulin dependent diabetics who were trying everything. They were doing everything they could to lose weight. And it's really hard. It's impossible. So don't focus on weight loss. Focus on coming off insulin. That should be your top goal. Any tips for pizza replacement? No, eat pizza 20% of the time. That's my goal. When you reverse diet and maintain, do your measurements stay the same too? They should. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything should be relatively the same with regards to reverse dieting. You don't want to see yourself gaining, a bunch of inches and the scale staying the same. I would say that would mean, when I see that means that something's going on with your muscle to fat ratio. Okay, let me give you, my visual of muscle to fat ratio. All right, this is going to be a very exaggerated issue. All right, this is 1 pound of fat. Okay, this is 1 pound of muscle. So when people say, oh, muscle weighs more than fat, no, it doesn't. Okay, a pound of muscle is the same as a pound of fat. All right, but fat takes up a lot more volume in our body. It's very voluminous. It's very voluminous, yes. Whereas muscle is very lean. All right, so a lot of times you may be like the gal that say, I've been lifting heavier. Am I building muscle? The scale's going up. Well, typically, if the scale's going up, your inches should be going down, okay? So we don't just measure our progress with the scale in my lean program, Living Energized and Nourished. We also look at measurements. And I think people overlook the power of measurements for progress way too much, okay? Because if you're losing 3 to 4 inches and the scale doesn't move, boo, you're still making progress. And I really don't care what the scale says. I just want to look good in my clothing and stuff like that. So this is just a really good way to understand, fat versus muscle. Okay, a couple more questions. We're going to wrap it up. DEXA scan, is that what you said, Mama? That is what I said, yes. It's actually what you use to check your bone density. Yeah. It's the most accurate way to determine your body composition. Do we set the app to gain weight? For reverse dieting, no, I would just add 100 calories. You want to manually do that. If you just switch your, weight gain versus weight loss, it could add 300 or 400 calories at a time. I'm 5 foot. I know I need less calories. What would a good range be for maintaining? Yeah, that's a loaded question. Everybody always asks me, that's a loaded question. You're 5 foot. How much do you weigh? How tall are you? What's your activity level? What's your age? I can't just based on your height tell you that, but you can join lean and figure it out. Is ashwagandha good for reducing cortisol levels? Absolutely. Yep. What do you recommend for a patient who has had bariatric surgery and has gained all their weight back? Lisa, you are my people. Yes. What I recommend is that you realize you have your tool. It's still there. It is the most effective weight loss tool on the market. You're just not using it. Most bariatric patients that have gained all their weight back unless it's a band, that's kind of a different story. But if it's a Roux-en-Y or a sleeve, you're just eating a ton of slider foods. You know, you've stopped the habits, you've stopped the, you know, the rules of the pouch. You're eating a lot of slider foods that are kind of unlimited. So I have a ton of bariatric patients that go through the Lean program, and it's a great reset. So would love to work with you. I actually have a great resource, The Rules of the Pouch. If you want to email me, I'll send it to you. How does PCOS fit into the picture? So PCOS is, again, it's kind of like one of those things where you ain't special, okay? You got to do the foundational work first and foremost. Then you can dial into the specifics of PCOS. But I think the biggest misconception with people with PCOS is that you have to do low carb. It's not sustainable. You don't. PCOS is a metabolic condition, just like diabetes. So, you know, you got to do that foundational work. Do you work with bariatric clients? I so do. I say this all the time. 1 pound of feathers is the same as a pound of, yes, exactly. Recently read something about coming off coffee and switching to matcha, but doesn't matcha break your fast? I don't know anything about matcha. Don't be taking my coffee away, okay? I'm drinking that green crap. Hail to the no. I need my coffee. What do we enter on the app maintenance to add 100 calories? You just add 100 calories. You just change your calories. You change it from 15 to 16. Lean is amazing. Oh, thank you guys. Lean is amazing. Yay, love Lean. Oh, I love you guys. Okay, reverse dieting. I hope this helped. I'm going to share this video. I would be so incredibly grateful if you would share it to your stories. I think Instagram gave us our share thing back. Tag your friends and family so they can hear this information, regardless of what dietary approach you're using, you know, whether it be keto, low carb, calories, whatever. You got to reverse diet. It has to be part of your plan. So I want to help you guys do that. I'll be back next Wednesday. I'm not sure what I'll be doing. I'm not sure what I'll be talking about. It kind of depends on, you know, what you guys want to hear. I got this dress at Zara, but it's a couple of years old. So love you. Bye. Talk to you soon. Yay.